One local dog rescue is doing wonderful work, but you never heard of them. Meet them and some of their cuties next on Connecting Our Community. Hi everybody, I'm Karen Allen and welcome to Connecting Our Community. Neat guests today, Jean Leisha and Frank Leisha. They're a married couple. Jean is, let me get it right, the President and Rescue Coordinator for the Mid-Atlantic Scottish Terrier Education and Rescue. The nickname for that is Master. And Frank, her husband, is a board member. Sorry, Frank, not as exciting a title, but yet this is a passion of theirs as a married couple. And look at the adorable, oh my gosh, are they cute. These are Scotties that they have brought with them. The whole organization that you are in, you two, Frank and Jean, are about Scotties. Master, as I said, I just want to say it again, Mid-Atlantic Scottish Terrier Education and Rescue. First of all, what does that mean? And why are Scotties so precious? And they are precious, important to you. Jean, thanks for coming.
Thank you for inviting us. We're happy to be here. I got my first Scottie in 1978, and I fell in love with the breed. They're a very independent, determined breed. While they might fool you and think and have you think they're lap dogs, they're really hunting dogs. And
for the purposes of the show, they're lap dogs.
For the purposes of the show, they're
very
lap
well
dogs.
behaved.
But their nickname, their AKC given nickname is Diehards, so that'll give you an idea of what kind of personality these dogs have. When Frank and I were married and together for a few years, we decided to join the Scottish Terrier Club of Washington. And at the time we joined them back in 1996, they were looking for rescue coordinators. And without giving it a whole lot of thought, we volunteered, and that began the journey. So we've been doing this for about 20 years. We've expanded our focus, though, in the last few years. In addition to Scottish Terriers, we do other breeds, and our charter is that we leave no dog behind. So we help a lot of organizations who might not otherwise be able to get medical help for dogs. We work with a lot of rescues in the area and a lot of shelters.
I am a personal fan of dogs. I'm a dog gal. I love dogs, and I've always had rescues, and I have a rescue now at home. Not a Scottie. Why? What's so special about Scotties? I mean, first of all, Scotties have become, that sort of thing that you see. You see Scotties. The imprint you see everywhere. So that's kind of made them kind of famous over the past decade or two. The imprint of a Scottie that you've seen, that special little something.
That's absolutely correct. Their outline is very recognizable, and so they are used for a variety of advertising. I think there's a McDonald's commercial on right now talking about Scottish Terriers. The key to Scotties, and I think the thing that makes them a dog that we enjoy, is that they're big dogs in little dog bodies. They act very much like a big dog, but they're also very portable, and they can do everything that a big dog can do. So it's kind of a two-in-one situation where you get the personality and the tenacity of a large dog in a little dog's body.
What else can big dog? What do you mean by big dog, though?
Well, they're hunters. They're
aggressive, though?
They can be. They can be. I'll tell you a quick story. Years ago, we had a black snake in our yard, and we had two large dogs at the time. And those two large dogs were standing watching our Scotties kill the snake. So
reason enough to get a Scottie, if you
right.
ask me. Because but they don't attack children. They don't like Rottweilers.
Oh, no,
sometimes.
no.
These are like the nicest. They're not like that.
No, and what we tell people is not every breed is meant for small children, and Scotties tend to be a little impatient with little ones if they don't know how to treat dogs. But if you get a Scottie as a puppy, or you get a Scottie through rescue that's been in a family with children, they're wonderful. Yeah, they're wonderful.
Frank, you share the same passion, I know this, because you've, first of all, been together, as we talked before the show, many, many years, and you've been doing this with your wife for many, many years. So tell me about the dog you got right there. And I know this one's Lil. Yeah. I know that one's Sam, right?
This is Sammy. He's 3 years old. He's agility champion. Jean usually takes him to agility trials. He does
agility.
Very well.
You said agility?
Agility.
Really? Scott,
yeah.
I mean,
my
mutt does no agility, okay? My mutt eats, sleeps, wants to be petted.
He does the jumps, the teeters, the tunnels. He's very fast. He's very good. He loves to go on the road and do the events with Jean. I wanted to add that we've, so far, our group Master, In the last 20 years, we've rescued a little over 700 dogs.
That's a lot of dogs. Now, I should ask you, where do you find these dogs? We all have seen dogs roaming around the streets, in people's backyards and things like that. I think people are owners are doing a much better job now of having collars, of registering their dogs and keeping track of them. So have you seen this increase as well in responsibility?
Well, I think that's a tough question to answer in a simple way, because yes, people are much more responsible, and that's why education is in our name. We work at educating the public about proper animal care and responsibility, and yes, owners for the most part have become much more responsible about their pets. But unfortunately, there's still a lot of people out there producing animals on a commercial level. Missouri alone produces 500,000 dogs a year. And it's all for profit.
Right.
And unfortunately, when you have an overabundance of dogs like that, 20% of them end up in shelters and end up being unwanted.
Are you also referring to puppy mills and things like that?
Well, puppy mill is a
terrible.
term that's frequently used, but they're really it's really commercial breeding operations, and some of them do fall into the puppy mill category. Some are a little bit more reputable, but the bottom line is they're producing for profit. And they're not producing to improve breeds, or for what I consider to be the right reasons.
You mean just commercial breeders?
Just simply commercial breeders.
A lot of people do want to pay that money, several $100s, for commercial breeders.
Right.
So you're not a fan?
No, I will tell you, I am a fan of responsible breeding, because without responsible breeding, our purebred dogs would no longer exist.
Correct. Yeah, that's true.
So you have to have responsible breeding. It's the people who are breeding strictly for profit, doing it on a mass basis, not giving the dogs proper medical care, not giving them the proper attention and socialization. Those are the ones that I have a problem with.
Right.
I don't have a problem at all with reputable breeders. And quite frankly, when people come to me and are looking for a puppy, I have a number of breeders that I don't hesitate to recommend.
Okay. Where do you find the animals that you rescue? Where do you get them? Where do you keep them? How do you take care of them? And what do you do?
They come from a variety of sources. They obviously come from shelters. There are a number of large shelters in this area. Montgomery County has a very large shelter. Prince George's County, Charles County, Carroll County. There's shelters in all of the main counties in the Washington metro area.
So you're saying you actually partner with the shelters to
Absolutely.
take care of?
Absolutely.
They'll call you up and they'll say, we have a couple Scotties or any type of dog?
That's correct. And because of the additional charter that we have, the shelters know if they have a dog that's in need of medical care that an average rescue can't afford, that we will also take that dog, and we've taken many of them over the years.
So many people don't comprehend, because a lot of people think that a dog will just go to a shelter and that's the end of the dog, especially if they have special needs or a medical need.
Oh, no.
Pay for some extra
Absolutely.
care is it's a miracle, really, for a dog. Anyone who's been in the, gotten, as I have, dogs from the shelter or taken a dog to a shelter, sadly, or anything like that, that's really a huge service.
Yes, we're happy to do it. We really are. And
You raise money then?
We do. We raise money through a variety of sources. We have a lot of good volunteers who help us with the dogs.
And you also, because we're gonna give out your website at the end, where people can, masterpup.org, where people actually can help you by volunteering to help the dogs, by volunteering to help with funds so that you can actually take care of the dogs, help dogs in need, help with the, for example, if somebody's dog, perhaps has cancer or has some diagnosis that needs help or something like that, you can help them, and who expects that these days? That's incredible.
Yeah. We do fundraisers. We're a 501c3, so any donations that come into us are tax deductible. Over the years, we have a lot of people that have been extremely kind to us and generous with donations. We're here to help, no matter what the situation is in a family that might have to give a dog up, or no matter what the health situation is, we will take care of the dog. We work with a lot of different top vets in the Maryland area, so if a dog has cancer, or if they have a serious ear problem or whatever, we do not shy away from that. We take care of it.
You stay right where you are, because we're going to give out the information that you need to help the Scotties and the leashes so that they can help the dogs. Stay where you are. We'll be right back.
When you donate goods in response to an international disaster, it's expensive.
They have to cross the sea, pass through customs, be inspected, sorted, then finally delivered.
And often they arrive too late to help, making your good intentions feel a little empty.
There is a better way.
Cash donations are fast, simple, and allow professional relief workers to purchase supplies close at hand.
Cash is best. Learn more at CIDI.org.
It's our duty to serve veterans and military families who serve their country in the most difficult ways imaginable. Together, we can say thank you in so many ways. Small acts of kindness mean more than anything. With our support, veterans and military families can face even the most difficult challenges. Let's honor their service with ours.
We are back with the adorable Scotties. If you can see these cuties, these are so cute. Now, these Scotties, we talked about Sammy. We haven't talked about Lil. Oh, did I mention that Frank and Jean Lisha are with us? Maybe not, because you were focusing on these adorable. I'm a big dog person, I mentioned before, and so are Frank and Jean Lisha of the Mid-Atlantic Scottish Terrier Education and Rescue Group. I had to get it all in.
It's a mouthful.
It is. They're called Master because they actually rescue Scottish Terriers mainly, but it turns out that a lot of other types of dogs from many, many counties and states around the area, Jean and Frank, correct?
Correct.
And you work with, from what I understand, shelters, vets, animal hospitals. I don't know how you have time for all this. Do you have full-time jobs?
We do.
What do you do for a living?
We're realtors, and my husband is a property manager.
Wow. Okay, so you have full-time jobs and you still find time to put your own money as well as raising money and getting volunteers. Masterpup.org, masterpup.org if you want to help. They need volunteers, they need funds, they need anything that you can donate towards this cause of helping rescue Scottish Terriers and other dogs for surgeries, medications, whatever dogs need. By the way, since we're here, what do you need?
Well, donations are always great, but we also need volunteers. We need people who are willing to transport, pick dogs up, take them for vet visits. We have some more chronic cases that we like that we might need permanent fostering for. So if somebody,
foster homes.
Right. So if somebody doesn't really want to have the expense of owning their own dog, they can foster for us, and we pay for all the medical expenses. And it's also important to mention that all of our donations go towards medical. All of the boarding and food and all of that, Frank and I donate. So when you donate to our organization, you know that the money is going straight to the dogs and not for any other expenses.
There's no overhead like some of these charities are accused of doing. It's
Correct.
a 501c3 and all the money goes to the dog's needs.
It all goes to the medical care of the dogs, yes.
That's wonderful. People do need to know that because people do question that these days. These days, can people actually visit dogs? Can they
Absolutely.
actually?
Absolutely. They just need to contact us, and they can do it through the website. And if they want to come and visit, just let us know, and we can set up a time and have them come and see. I should also mention that all of our available dogs are advertised on petfinder.com.
Oh, okay.
And you should search under our name in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Master?
Mid-Atlantic Scottish Terrier Education
Okay.
and Rescue in Silver Spring, Maryland.
So you go to petfinder.com, look under Mid-Atlantic Scottish Terrier Education Rescue to find your dogs, and then people can help your dogs or visit your dogs.
Correct.
This is
Correct.
a whole system.
It is. It's a very, I'll tell you, the internet, Facebook, petfinder.com, a lot of the sites that are out there have been very, very, because we've been doing this for 20 years, and we were doing it before computers were popular. And I'll tell you, it really has changed the nature of what we do. It's made it much easier
I can
to
imagine.
find homes for dogs.
Not that I was, I was only born since social media was around, as is evidenced, but of course by my appearance. But I know that must have been really much different.
Yeah.
In those days.
It really was.
I don't know how you did it. Wait a minute. Do you have children?
No, we don't.
This is it.
These are our
your
children.
children.
These are our children.
That would be a
Yeah.
whole different ball game. I
Yeah.
can understand that. So you really like Scotties. I just want to mention. I don't know if you can see this at home. This gal is 12 years old.
She's 12 years old.
You can see the gray, right?
Yep.
Am I just seeing things?
She's also brindle, but yes, as she's gotten
Oh.
older, her beard and her eyebrows have grayed quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not just dogs that have beards.
But she's still
Oh.
healthy and happy and doing well. She's
She's
a good
adorable.
girl.
They're very, very sweet. They
She's
really
a
are.
good
They're obviously very easy dogs.
Yeah.
They're precious. All right. So now, if people want to donate items, blankets, everything the shelter needs, you
we
need.
have a full list on the website
Okay,
of
so
items
just-
that we need.
Can you give me some examples? Phil?
Yeah, we always need blankets. We always need treats. We use pill pockets for medications to put the
Okay,
medications
okay.
in. We can always use toys for the dogs, Nylabones, Kongs, things that they can play with and chew.
Do you also need newspapers? Because I think that the shelters are always needing, for some reason, newspapers.
No,
You don't
we
need
don't
those.
use newspapers.
Okay.
No, actually, the other thing that we use, oddly enough, since you mentioned newspapers, is we use reusable, washable incontinence pads, like the ones they have in hospitals.
Oh, okay.
And we have
Okay.
had several hospitals donate to us.
Is that right?
Yep. And we like them because they're environmentally friendly, because
Right.
we can wash them and we don't have to dispose of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
So if
Interesting.
you have an elderly person in your home and you're no longer using those kinds of things, we can certainly accept those as well.
Okay, that's wonderful to know. That's good to know. All right. I had mentioned that you worked in several states and counties. Frank, what is the range that you actually work with? Because I think people would be surprised to know how far you can travel
Well,
to get
we-
dogs and have dogs.
In the
Go.
area of like Pennsylvania, Delaware,
far.
Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia.
That's far.
Yes.
If people thought that you were some local yokels, no offense to local yokels, we're local yokels, okay? So I get that. You guys are far.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you, it's really interesting because we have a great network of people up and down the East Coast who are very helpful to us in terms of transporting. And, you know, we do transport chains where somebody will drive so many hours and then somebody else will drive some more. And it's amazing how kind and generous people are with their time. And that's
For
important
animals,
as well.
people will come out for animals.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
amazing what people will do for their animals, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I said you worked with veterinarians, animal hospitals. It turns out hospitals will work with you too.
Exactly.
Which is amazing.
Exactly.
Are there other groups that you work with? Because there's a lot of animal groups out there. Do you network with them too?
We do. We network with other rescues. As a matter of fact, there's an all-breed rescue, Reach Out Rescue Resources, that I'm on the board of, and we trade information and we help one another, and we fostered for them, and so there's a very big cooperative effort among the rescue organizations.
I don't know where you two exactly live yourselves, but if I were to drive out to your house, in the backyard, would I just see a big fence and a big yard and 100 dogs?
No.
No.
And you know everyone by name and you pet everyone, and that would be actually kind of fun.
No, we.
How do you keep from not doing that? How do you not want to
Well, we
just
have a lot
have
of
them
people,
all in
we
your
have
house?
a lot of people who help us. We have a lot of people who foster, and I actually often have a waiting list of people who are waiting for rescues to come in.
It's amazing.
I have many return adopters who have rescued from us over the years, and when they lose a dog, they'll come back to us and say,
yeah.
we'd like another dog when one comes available that's a fit for us. And that's another thing. We're very careful about where our dogs go. We do home visits in 100% of the cases. We check references, and we really do try to match the dog with the individual.
That's so nice. That's a lot of work.
It is, but I have a lot of people who have learned over the years how to do the home visits, so I can call people and ask them to participate and to help us with that. And we also have a board comprised of 8 other people besides Frank and myself who help us with our activities, our fundraisers, our home visits, transporting dogs. We have a lot of help.
Are there any tips you want to throw out there, just in case someone's looking for a Scottie, for example?
Well, it's
what is a good and maybe not so good fit for a Scottie?
Well, it's very important that you understand that a Scottie is a hunting dog, and you need to be very careful about bringing an adult Scottie into your household if you have small children. You need to make sure that if you go through a breeder, that you are dealing with a reputable breeder if you decide you want to get a puppy. I always tell people the best bet is to call the rescue person and ask them who they think the good breeders are, because they generally do know who they are.
That's a very good resource.
And the other thing that I will recommend, not just for Scotties, but for any breed of dog, is if you're going to bring a new dog into your household, take them to training. Get obedience training, help them understand what's expected of them, be consistent with them, and be gentle and be kind.
Obedience training, I'm here to tell you, is so vitally important.
Oh, yes.
And I'm also here to tell anyone watching that I should have done it. And I still haven't done it. And if you think I'm talking about my dog, I'm not. I'm talking about my kids. Oh, but anyway, talking about my dog too. I so agree with you. I can't tell you. It takes time and it's a few bucks, but it is so, I'm here to tell you, I can't agree with you more.
Well,
there's still time for me, isn't it? She's only 5.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's never too late. And, you know, a well-trained and well-socialized dog is a pleasure. Look at these guys. You know, they're sitting here and enjoying the evening with us.
Completely. And even before the show, they were like, I was like, can we get a rise out of you people? You dogs? You know, but you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. My dog doesn't even like the leash, but that's beside the point. That's another show. Well, and she's fine. She's really easy.
One of the reasons that we stress training too is because so many dogs end up in shelters simply because people don't know how to handle them.
It's the saddest thing.
Yeah.
Because they're so excited when they take the dog home.
Yeah.
And I've had enough taken home that I know, and I grew up with dogs, so I'm not that ignorant. But yeah, I totally couldn't agree with you more. It's the expectation. It's all about managing expectations.
It is.
And that is done with education. And yeah, I have to say, you're absolutely right. I mean, obviously, you don't take a Great Dane home if you, you know, or a Pomeranian. Pomeranians are not good with small children, from experience. So you just live and learn. I totally agree.
Yep.
I want to talk about your website for a minute because masterpup.org. What can people expect when they look there? Because we've talked about a few things that are on there and that you need some help and stuff. What is on that website?
When you go to our website, you'll see a great video that has been done that talks about all of, or not all of, but many of the dogs that have come through our rescue organization and their happy endings. We also have a lot of information on there that leads you to adopting a dog, the Pet Finder link, our application. We have some fun pictures and things about the events that we've had. Our adopters' pictures are on there, and we also have a lot of stories about the dogs that we've placed and their happy endings, and that's really what we try to focus on. We try to focus on the outcome for these animals, and
that's very nice.
And we like to share that with people because it's fun. And we also have a little store on the website, and we have the ability for you to go in and make a donation, a tax-deductible donation if you choose to.
You mentioned events. Does that mean that you actually have the kind of events where people can get together with their dogs and network and talk and have picnics and compare notes and jump through hoops, literally? I mean the dogs, not the people.
We have a number of events every year. We have a picnic in May that we have at our property. We have a Christmas or a holiday party for our adopters and anybody who's a supporter. And then we have a number of other events during the year. We just recently did an agility fundraiser. So if you do agility with your dog, you can come do agility, have a good time, and still donate to a really worthy cause. And we also do what we call cocktails and canines fundraisers. We have lovely people around the Washington area who open their homes, and people come and share their stories about their dogs and have a glass of wine and meet everybody.
Don't give the dog wine.
No.
That's not where we're going with this, right?
Generally, these cocktail events, the dogs are not invited.
Oh, just
Generally,
checking.
they stay home with a
Are you
sitter.
partnering with OkCupid or anything?
No.
Just checking. Just make sure.
No.
Well, I was,
No.
just checking. I just want to make sure that we
No
give the public
Tinder,
the
none of that stuff.
full
No.
information. Okay. But that's cool. Okay. That's masterpup.org. And so if people want information on the Mid-Atlantic Scottish Terrier Education and Rescue, and I know that it's a long name and a mouthful, and maybe I was teasing you, but that's because you want people to know that there's education there as well as rescue. And your point is that without education, people don't really know how to adopt, how to take care of, what is available on your website, and what to do with not just the Scotties, but in general. And I think that's what the animal shelters have always wanted to do as well. So it's all in the master title. So masterpup.org is where to go. Okay. I think you guys are terrific. Not only have you stayed married all these years, which is a good thing, you've found a passion together. Well, who stays married all these years, right? And you guys did that. That's another show. We can talk about how you did that. But I'm really... Frank and Jean Leisha, I'm really happy that you came to talk about this, and more power to you. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Frank and Jean Leisha, Master Mid-Atlantic Scottish Terrier Education and Rescue, masterpup.org. This has been Connecting Our Community. You know you can always email us on mymcmedia.org. I'm Karen Allen. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.